Well, we seem to have the passage of time very much in our minds today because it's now 40 years since the very first television broadcast was made from Alexandra Palace in London.
Sorry to break in, Bob, but everybody knows that. And
Well,
apart from anything else, you're interrupting a programme which I particularly wanted to watch about the wonders of television. Actually, we see a lot of that fella there, don't we? Gets a bit tedious day after day, don't you think?
Well, he's one of my favourites, as a matter of fact.
Oh, I prefer the smaller one, actually, with the dark hair.
I think he talks too much.
Yes, I've heard it said, but it's got fascinating things to say. Just listen to them for a moment or two, Bob.
Something wrong with the sound.
Turn the volume up. That's odd. Try the other channel. We don't want that rubbish. Turn back.
That was revolting.
Well, what they would like to say, Bob, if only we could hear them, which is a pity we can't, is to tell us about the wonders of modern television. And I want to demonstrate one of the latest developments, which is the BBC information service Ceefax, which I know a lot of people have already seen, but it comes on the market. It's been sold at Harrods this week for £395, and it's an information service. For that money, you get an adapter, which can be plugged into any television set, and at the press of a switch, there we are. This is the Ceefax information page. In fact, this is just the index. I have here a little push-button device, which is a little bit like a pocket calculator. And by looking down the index, here we are, news headlines, page 101, news in detail, sport headlines, travel, today's recipe, and so on. We can play into our own television set, if you've got the adapter, any of the information. I'll try news headlines, Bob. For that, press the page number 101, and we can see the page numbers turning up there. And when it comes to page 101, then we'll get some of the news headlines. As you can see, it also includes the date and the time. There's even a bigger index, actually, at page 198.
It's rather like having a kind of second-by-second encyclopedia right at your fingertips. They're the headlines.
Here's the headlines on page 101. Miners' leader Mr. Gormley approaches the government on further talks. If you want more information on that, you can turn to page 103. But I'll just take it back to the index, Bob.
Let's try something else. Flick his index.
Well,
Shall we
like
try?
Shopper's
What about the
Guide?
shop? Yes, the shopping guide.
Well, just try one more. Shopper's Guide, which is page 142. And here we go. The pages are going round again. While we're waiting, I must tell you that in a couple of years, this should be much cheaper. And also, price guide, this page is being changed. Just my luck, isn't it?
How unfortunate.
Well, I was about to tell you, Bob, that back to the headline. Let's try the sports headlines.
Okay.
And while we're waiting for it to come up, let me say that in a couple of years' time, there'll be a newer device on the market which will enable people sitting at home at the touch of a switch to get 300 million pages. Which means, of course, that in the central computer you could put in, well, you could put in the Holy Bible, War and Peace, encyclopedias and so on, and at the touch of a switch, get all the information there in your own living room.
That is mind-boggling, David. Mind you, if you find all this a little too intellectual, and if you regard the television set as being primarily for entertainment, even if you don't like the programs, you can always buy, for much less money, this is only £20, the Videomaster Home TV game set. Here it is. It's so simple. You just simply plug it into the aerial at the back of your set. Now, we're using a different set. I'm using that one over there just to make it a little more simple. And you can immediately play the kind of game that you normally only find in slot machines and fairgrounds and clubs. Now, this one is called squash. And by twiddling the knobs here, providing the ball comes out, of course, by twiddling the knobs, I can try and get that, that ball into that little hole. Now, there we go. Now, they reckon you can actually adjust the speed of the ball, and they say if you have it at full speed, no one can last longer than 10 minutes because the concentration is so intense.
Armchair Jonah Barrington.
Exactly. Now let that one go, because if you don't particularly care to play solo, if you prefer a game that you play with a friend, and I'm using that word friend loosely since I'm playing today with David Seymour.
Thank you very much.
You can switch to tennis. Here we go. Come on.
Wait a minute, I'm not ready.
Lost that one. Here we go.
Feed the ball in again. Here we go. Nastasi on the right, that's me.
Now this is me. Wait. I'll get you.
I've got to play it back to you.
Me again, here we go.
And how much did this cost, Bob, did you say?
It's £20. So for £20, David, you can have hours and hours of endless entertainment.
Oh, look at that top spin.
I think you can't beat Pebble Mill for entertainment.
Absolutely
That's
right.
Look at that.
They're the two fellows I like to watch. They're
What
pretty
elegance.
good, Bob.
What elegance. What style.
What verbal wit.
What flair.
Terrific.
Fantastic.
Always like this programme.
Superb.